Police or zombie problems? Your tortoise won't stop breakdancing?
Try blue tape.
The miracle of our age. Yay! Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you.
You know what? I talked to your mayor.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThATuMBRELLAgUY. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me. I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me. I'm a man.
I'm feeling fly, yeah, I'm so damn fresh. Got that platinum grill, bringing in the chest. Diamonds in my mouth, shining when I speak. That umbrella guy, flossing, speaking geek. Ice on my teeth, I'm dripping so hard. Platinum grills, I'm the king of the boulevard. Throwing money in the club, making haters mad. I'm the baddest in the game, no one gets a pass. Ooh yeah. Crushing all these lines, yeah, I feel fly. Rolling on the dubs, that umbrella guy. Iced out cold on the boulevard. You ain't a comic gangster, don't be playing hard. Ice on my teeth, I'm flying so high. Dropping the bass, that umbrella guy. One grill to rule them all, one grill to bind them. Baby, I'm so iced out, gonna blind them. Rolling in town, I'm an army of one. Doing verbal walk-bys, blazing like the sun. Riding in my whip, crushing false accusers. Dropping off the bass on the real abusers. Yeah. Living life fast, no time for the slow. Justice on my mind, stacking up on that flow. Life in the fast lane, no time to blink. Ice on my teeth, watch it when I speak. Chillin' on my rhymes, never missing a beat. Ice on my teeth, yeah, I'm living that sweet. That umbrella guy, bringing the platinum heat. Crushing every hater, no time for defeat. Ooh yeah.
Ooh yeah, indeed. What's up, folks? How's it going? Welcome to a brand new week with a never-ending flow of stupid. How's it going, Megalodonus?
It's not good. It's all so bad. It's so bad. All right, so I had this weekend of hell where I had the crud from the kids, which was it seemed to be like the flu. And I had a really horrible weekend. Like I was in bed for 2 days with fever and the worst headache of my life. And I thought it was a sinus headache. And I was taking all the sinus medication and nothing was helping, like nothing. And I had the worst headache last night I've ever had in my life. So finally, after maybe 5 hours of writhing around, not getting any relief, I'm inhaling steam, I'm putting heat on my head, I'm doing all these things. Nothing is working. I finally decide, well, it can't hurt to take a migraine pill. because maybe it's a migraine, I guess. I take one, 15 minutes later, it's completely gone. And I wake up, I'm like a new person. I feel good. I do my live stream this morning. I do trial streaming. I feel great. No problem. I get done with my live stream. Like, yeah, my back's kind of achy. I go to stretch. Yeah, my back's out completely now. I'm laying flat. I'm in my chair. I've got my chair reclined. If I sound a little far away from the microphone, like this is as close as I can get. I'm sorry.
No, it actually sounds right still. So you're good to go.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Because I'm a little bit further than I normally am because I'm reclined. Oh, I may not make it very far tonight. We'll see. If it starts to hurt, I'm gonna have to go lay flat.
You know, the best cure for all of that is laughing at stupid people. There was a lot of stupid this weekend too. There was a lot of stupid. God, there was a lot of stupid this week. You know, that interview. Oh man. Oh, you know, when we're back to your channel, that's definitely something. Since they named you, you know, and talked about you specifically, I think that's one. But I could not believe that they're telling Lynette Preston that this stuff is not a violation of a protective order. I mean, she's obviously being told that.
Who would be told?
Well, I would say Volpe, and
well,
on
that would
top
be
of
stupid
it,
to listen to someone who's not a lawyer.
Well, he doesn't understand. So, in that whole thing, one of the things that amazed me in it was that he was actually. I want to bring up a section for you because this is so crazy. I mentioned this yesterday. We got a big filing today, by the way, folks. It is a crazy one. But since everything happens when Megalodonus is not online.
That's true.
Look, would you take advice from a guy who doesn't understand that protective orders, they actually utilize the Violence Against Women Act? That
was pretty bad. That was a real low moment. It was probably as low as "Who's George?"
I would say it's lower considering after he says all of that, and he's like, you know, by the way, I did an expose calling out that act. You guys should check it out.
Oh God!
I was like,
nobody's gonna watch your exposés. You're a dumbass, and everyone knows.
I was like, your expose.
He's got 40 people who usually watches, you know, his stuff. 40 whole people, and half of them are probably people who have paid him to tell their stories.
I would say many of them are probably sock accounts from you know, if any of their Substack stuff is an indication.
God, that's the thing that just really burns him about all of this is that I have an audience and my audience didn't follow him when I cut ties with him. That's what pisses him off, is that he didn't retain my audience. At the time I let him on my channel, you know, my audience was nice to him and they listened to him and they thought he was a decent dude, just like I did. But when I cut ties with him, no one followed him. No one wanted to go listen to him because he's rude. He's a bore.
My ex-friend Megalodon.
As it turns out, he doesn't do good research, and so his stories are bullshit.
I could not believe that he didn't even know that works into a protective order. But I mean, you know, the whole thing anyway. So he does he does an interview with these people who have a protective order against them. Okay, that they talk about the protective order. They spend quite a bit of time talking about the protective order. In fact, one of the key things I thought really stuck out was they kept saying that Jeremy Hales is apparently not scared enough because he drives down the highway in front of his own property. He should be taking a different direction. So that proves that he's not.
So the other thing he didn't do was research why Jeremy doesn't want to go that way. Mm-hmm. If he had, he would have known from the beginning that the other way to enter his property, he has to go on the dangerous intersection where people die at a very high rate, which is something that he talked about in court about why he didn't want to be inconvenienced to go around the other way, because that intersection has multiple bad accidents all the time. And in fact, while we were covering this story, there was a crash there, maybe two, where someone died.
I remember that working in when they were talking about the protective order stuff.
Remember that? So, like, again, this is someone who doesn't do their research. And why should a person who is being stalked and harassed have to change his pattern?
They don't have to. That's the whole point. Like, it doesn't matter if it's the safest way. And, he's taking the long way. He's taking the scenic route going by there. It wouldn't matter because he doesn't have to inconvenience himself.
But the point is, he does have a good reason for wanting to go that way. And he has every right to go that way. And he should not have to alter his habits because of these people. They have to alter their habits.
It was just amazing to hear that. I thought, man, what a real statement about the way that victims are perceived by these folks, Well,
again, because, men are never considered victims by these people. They can never see a man as a victim.
George has it as well, though. So they're
saying completely ignore her. Notice that.
Because it looks bad. Because if you say that about a man, you can get away with it. But if you throw George into the mix and you actually talk about that, then they might actually have to talk about how they violated the protective order before. And I mean, just
how about how they had their third parties come to Otter Creek and then literally stalk George's car?
Yep.
And film George's car at the schoolhouse.
I couldn't believe, though. I mean, the level of a violation this is. So they name it something. They put Jeremy Hale's name in it. They make it disparaging. Then they mail it to him. You have it mailed by Volpe. They tag Jeremy Hale's directly into it. So it will tag him into YouTube. When you hashtag somebody, it'll tag him in. So they did that on purpose. And then Lynette Preston reposted it and made dozens of comments about it. So,
I want to be clear with people. The third party contact is not Lynette talking about Jeremy. Although it's risky. She probably shouldn't. But
that's
not really, it could. It depends on the judge.
Yeah. But that would be first party, That
would be first party. But the third party contact is Volpe sending that interview to Jeremy Hales, which he did. He sent it to him. He not only put his name in the headline and tagged him, but he emailed it to him directly. That is third-party contact. Yeah. He reached out to make sure that Jeremy Hales saw his stalkers talking about him. That is classic. He will not get around it. Lynette is going to be held accountable for what Volpe did.
Yeah,
clearly
and ultimately
held accountable.
That's the perfect wording too, because ultimately these people giving her bad advice and telling her it doesn't matter. Ultimately, the law doesn't hold them accountable. It holds Lynette Preston and John Cook accountable. So, and hey, that's on them to understand. Now today she's switched back to going after 2L again.
Oh God.
Well, she's just made friends everywhere, hasn't she?
But she did a lot of weird things in that interview. She made a lot of inconsistencies, right? Mm-hmm. For one, she said that the kid was potty trained, whereas the day before, she posted that she is not potty trained. And in the video, she claimed that she's having problems with potty training because of Jeremy Hales.
Right.
Well, in the other, I'm sorry, not in the video. In the video, she said it was because of the drug baby issue. God, I'm losing track of all her stories.
I know, so it's hard to keep up anymore.
In the interview, she says that the child has problems with potty training because she's a drug baby.
Yeah.
In the post she made, NAS. In the post that she made, she blames Jeremy Hales. Well, which one is it, Lynette? You can't have it both ways.
Yeah, here's that post, by the way. This is the post. She's potty trained, basically. But due to your abuse and her issues now caused by your abuse of us and her, she doesn't want to be potty trained. Wait, what?
What?
She wants to remain my baby forever.
Like, nobody wants to be your baby, Lynette. I'm sorry.
It's just weird like that. The kid's 5, man. Like my kid, like I said, I've dealt with, what she's alleging. I've dealt with fake CPS calls. My 5-year-old does not understand those things. She doesn't. And she said, well, it's because her kid is locked up. Okay, well, she said
she's
that
always been locked up.
Yeah, she has a life-threatening metabolic issue, though.
And
right?
also, she locks her up because of the nails and the glass and the snakes and all the other things that she says are dangerous. That she's always locked her up. That is garbage that she locks her in a shed because of this. No, she's locked her in that shed from the beginning for lots of things, including we have her on tape telling the Fish and Wildlife guy, I'm going to lock you in the shed, telling that to the baby. I'm going to lock you in the shed. It's time for your nap. I'm going to lock you in the shed because of the misbehavior or whatever.
Nowadays that the shed's bad. Okay, we're back to the shed bad, and my money.
But wait a minute, shed bad today, but shed wasn't bad in the interview.
No,
shed had everything they needed, including a king-size bed and air conditioning, and it was insulated all of a sudden. When did that happen? When did the insulation and the air conditioner happen?
It had tables and chairs. I was like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute, what? Yeah, shed good. And also, I really laughed that Volpe had no idea they were living in a shed. I wonder what was going through his mind when she said, no, we don't have an RV anymore. We live in a shed.
Yeah, he said, to quote him, he said, I think there's another allegation that she lives in like an RV that's on your property. Not an RV, but something like an RV. And Lynette was like, yeah, we had an RV, but we let it go because of black mold. We're the allegation. We live in a tiny shed house on our property. Even her explanation of that, you notice she puts on the descriptor tiny. So she says that it's a tiny shed, and now today shed bad again. So this is a post.
What is this from? What is this?
This is her post off of her Otter Creek Standing in the Truth. She said, do you know what bothers me the most? She has a couple of comments under this too. She says, this is the allegations against her. Well, I'm a bad mom for being in this shed. I'm a bad mom for wanting to be out of this shed. Would you want to be living this hard in a shed?
Well, apparently she said over the weekend that it's the best place on earth, that shed. No problem at all.
Indeed.
No problem at all. But, I wonder if Volpe has seen the pictures inside the shed. Do you think he's seen them?
I don't think he cares. No.
I don't think he has. He's a person who claims to be, concerned about the welfare of children. I wonder if he has seen the pictures that Shar and Michelle put on YouTube. I'm going to find them. And we should bring them up and just show the pictures, because this is the shed that she's talking about. And the reason why we have these pictures is because the cops had to go there and clean the pew-pews out after John's brush with the law or whatever.
Stuff. Like I said, since he talked about you specifically, we should pull all that tomorrow. Pull it together. Because he brought you up and he made allegations about you. And I think you should, what is that thing that we pull out at those times? Oh, yeah, a wrecking ball. You should take a fucking wrecking ball. That's stupid. That's what
I think I will. I think I will. But, it's funny. She didn't show him any of the pictures of what it actually looks like in the shed.
No, she actually told John to make sure not to show anything but, he walked around.
Don't show the house.
They did make a beautiful accidental point too. They were talking about the fence, and he was like, I had to add on to it. The first fence when we built it, at 6 feet high. And I was like, see, I told you it's not that tall. You can look at it from the road. It's not adequate at all. It's not at all. And they were like, oh, he's driving by. My favorite thing in here. It made me laugh so hard. They were like, Jeremy's riding by side saddle. On his tractor.
Yeah.
Taking pictures.
Side saddle.
Oh my God. It filled me with so many hilarious mental images. I had one good mental image on that. Would you like to see that?
Oh, sure.
Check this. This is one from last night. Look at him. He's side saddling. He's got his stick out.
Who would ride on a tractor like that?
Oh my God. I just imagine him doing like you know those Annie Oakley tricks where she like, trick guns and she's like flipping all over a horse. I imagine him doing that the whole time. I love the fact that like I can fit that face into almost anything. Oh my God. Somebody made one like that really looked lifelike too. I'll have to find that one. That one was really funny. It was very good. Some people make some really good ones, but they showed a picture of the fence itself, and it's man, from the inside, it's just as bad as I imagine. Oh, I got a Raider. I haven't had this Raider in a while, by the way. You want to say hi?
Hi.
Are you feeling better today?
Yeah.
Yeah, she hadn't felt good in a week, so she's.
Oh yeah, it's just a bad bug.
She's been back to running and carrying on, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you back to super speeding up.
That was playing Silent Hill F.
Yes, I was playing Silent Hill F. That's indeed right, and it is very creepy, is it not? That is a creepy freaking game.
No, it's not.
The kids were laughing at me. Like, look, we dodged a monster in the game. You've got a dodge button. So there's this creepy monster coming towards us, and I dodge it and run by it. And I'm like, sucker! And then I run past it, and I run into a dead end. And I was like, you're not a sucker. I love you. And they were all laughing about it. They were like, yeah, you talk a big game until you got trapped, Dad. Oh my goodness.
Because he knew that he was listening.
Yep. All right. Well, hey, come here for a second. Give me a hug. You're gonna have to go back upstairs, okay? But I wanted you to be able to say hi. Everybody's been asking about you. They've been asking how you were doing and how you were feeling.
I was feeling bad.
I know you were feeling bad. You were feeling
I
bad.
was literally coughing, so it was coming out of my throat.
I know, that's rough. Well, come here, give me a hug.
And I was sneezing a lot.
Yeah, I know you were sneezing, coughing, but you still sound a little congested. Yeah, and that's another. Once you go lay down though and get better, tomorrow you should be good to go. Okay? I don't want you running around tonight still. I want you well tomorrow, okay? Hey, no running. Come on, I know you think you feel better, but you don't yet. I can hear it in your chest still. Come here. Come here.
Kiss?
Yes, you can make kiss and chicken. Look at that too. I have my favorites. Sent you $5. That's not an excuse to run. Come here. She's like, yeah. Come here. You are such a nut.
I am or not.
I know you are. Look, they don't run when I say these out there. Look, what is that number?
99.
Yeah, that's $9.99. That's $10. That's money. Can you say thank you to Bonnie? No, you're not moving in down here. Can you say thank you to Bonnie?
Thank you, Mommy.
Yeah. And can you say thank you to I have my favorite?
I always said that.
Did you say thank you? I couldn't hear you. You were running.
Yeah.
You were so fast the words didn't catch up with you. I wasn't sure. Okay. Well, can I have a hug? Give me a kiss too. No, you go. Listen.
High five and a fist bump. A bestie fist bump.
Yes, you can have one high five and one fist. One high five. Here it is.
Yes,
All right.
hello.
And one fist bump. Best. All right. Hey, come here. Come here for 1 second. There's also, look at that, for candy ginger for you. Ooh, candy anything. Like,
Thank you.
yeah. Hey, you were asking. She said before this, she was like, oh man, I haven't been down here in a while. I was like, yep, they'll miss you. So yeah, look, there's two people. They sent you $20 too. Hey, can you say hi to Joan?
Hi, Joan.
And can you say hi to Janice?
Hi, Jenny.
Yeah, look, they sent you $20 each. Oh my goodness, dude.
Can you? I did say thank you.
Yeah, you did say thank you. All right. Hey, go upstairs though.
I didn't say thank you to them.
Well, you want to say thank you to him real fast, and then
Thank
she's turning
you.
like she can. No, go.
Thank you.
That. All right. All right. Give me a hug. For real. Give me a hug. You gotta go upstairs.
Hey, look at my jumper checks. They got better.
That's crazy. That is awesome.
I miss Claudie.
Yeah, maybe. We'll think about karate again. I'm not sure. We'll think about it. Go upstairs though. Okay. Hey, you can watch the big TV when you're getting well. Okay. You can move in up there for now. Okay. Love you. Shut that door. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. You know what's bad is she knows the difference between sir and ma'am for people. But when she was little, she would call me yes, ma'am. And
yeah, she still does. She still does sometimes. It's cute.
She does all the time. She calls me yes, ma'am, because she thinks that's what she's supposed to tell Dad. Yeah, and I don't have the heart to break it because I don't want to. It's so cute. I think it's it's so cute.
I did find something that I bet Volpe has not seen, and I bet it is. Oh, not that. Why did it go away? Here. It's right here. Ah, damn it. It lost my spot. I bet he has not seen this. And you know what's incredible because he clearly hasn't, because he doesn't know where they live, right? And he's all, so they say that you're living in a camper.
Yeah,
like,
he thinks there's an allegation that they're not living in a home. It's an RV. Nobody cares that you live in an RV. Actually, they don't care if you live in a freaking small building, a small domicile. The issue is living in a tiny abode that they themselves complain about. You know?
Yeah, and it's and there's no way that the thing is as big as they say it is. But even so, let's say it was 10, whatever the.
It looks like a 10 by 12 is what it looks like. Now again,
let's look and see real quick, like what it looks like on the inside of this thing, which he has never seen. Obviously, he's never seen it. Here we go. Here's one. This is the inside of the alleged tiny home shed. Oh, look, sleeping in a hammock, shit everywhere. Like, we've been through these pictures with a fine-tooth comb, and we found some scary, scary shit, like pills within reach of baby, stuff on the floor, like lots of pills. Like, she's got like 4 of those pill scrunchers, or what do you call them? Pill squuncher. What do you call those?
Pill squuncher. I think we'll call them that from now on.
What do you call
pill
those?
Crushers, but they used to be pill crushers, but now they're squanchers.
The squunching is all the rage. The squunching is all the rage now. So yeah, it's a pill squuncher. But like, how many pills is she squunching that she needs like 5 of these things? And why are we grinding pills into powder? Exactly. Like, what? Why are we doing that? And how is this? That's the other shed. That's not the one they live in. How is this a decent place for a kid to live? And look at the walls. Would you look at the walls? There's no insulation there. So now we haven't seen pictures recently. So, because look, there's metal walls. See the 2x4s and the metal walls. No insulation. We know for a fact she had this kid living in this shed with no insulation in a hot tin shed in Florida for what, a year? At least.
And by the way, as a note for a public service announcement, do not contact these people or any organization thereafter. Thank you very much.
But has he seen that? Like, yeah, that's where they live.
I don't think it would matter. I think when you're a rent-to-own piece of garbage, I think honestly your conscience can be abated very easily. I think that is what my personal opinion, that when you put a price tag on coverage of something, see, for me, I covered this regardless, and people have been like, cool, and they've settled in. But you know what, we cover whatever. We've covered things when nobody shows up and when people show up. This case it happens to have 10 freaking lawsuits attached to it. It's become so I'm invested in this now too. But these people, again, they were like, well, we'll cover it if you pay us $300 per freaking article. And on top of that, no investigating. They were writing articles before they even had any idea what anything was. Remember the classic insult of who's George? He didn't know
Well,
who
that's because
George was.
you know what a joke they are, because they started out by asking me to tell them everything about the case. Oh,
Yep.
hi, we want to take your case apart, so tell us everything you've done so far. No,
Yeah.
fuck you. Give us all your work you've done for the last 2 years so we can take it apart. No, fuck you. No, thank you. But then instead, because they're lazy as shit, then they just started making stuff up.
You know the other thing they didn't talk about? A really big thing. They didn't talk about the money. You notice that didn't come up at all. It was all focused outwardly. And yet today, again, we're back to the money. We're back to, and that is a huge issue, by the way. It's the one thing that I can say is fucking criminal as hell in this. Again, I don't have to like a party. I don't have to like what's involved. But I mean, that's what this post is all about, the money. But you notice they didn't bring that up in that interview. I think that's amazing. She posted, for those brainless out there, we have 2 nice sheds in back here, not the old living quarters that's on the property falling down in the picture you're seeing. Can you really be that clueless? Well, you just said that it's you're living hard in a shed. So, yeah. So that, but then it goes on. You're all on, should be in the dark. You're all in the dark. God, this is a mess. I'm going to say it how it's reading. You're all on the dark, have put us here, not us. So it's other people's fault. You know, it's not our fault we're there. It's yours. Now, they blamed Jeremy last time. This time, it's going to be out the money. We were promised the framing would get done on time. We knew we'd lose our permit, and we knew the one stalking us and the believers would continue to hurt our family every minute of every day, making it almost impossible to live a normal life. Now look, everybody's the enemy now. Half of this is 2L, and half of it is about Jeremy Hale. Everybody's the bad guy. It's amazing. I sure didn't. I know I'm on my own, just myself and my beautiful girl, and I'll sell off everything I have and do whatever it takes to get us out of this shed and into an RV till
Oh wait, I thought the shed was fine.
Yeah, I was. That's the.
I thought it was. It had insulation and an air conditioner and a king size bed, and you're just happy as pie in there.
Thank God we're in Florida. You do realize we wouldn't have to make the decisions we have if all this hadn't happened. Really, so you said that you had an RV, but the RV filled with black mold. So you had to get rid of it. You also said you ran out of money. Now, you try to blame Jeremy Hales for paying lawyers, but you're telling us that the shed construct is going to cost well over $50,000. Now, I know for a damn fact you didn't put over $50,000 into shit, you know, a few thousand at most. So without this case, you wouldn't have that money anywhere. And now, again, 2L kept it. And I'm going to be very blunt about this, and excuse my bluntness, but fuck you, Lynette. You know, people offered. They said we'd help you with it. You know what? I wouldn't help you now. I wouldn't help you for the lulz. Nope. Fuck yourself. You want to be a rude ass piece of garbage.
Let Volpe help you get your money back.
Yeah, let him help you there.
Let that piece of shit get your money back. He won't.
Let John Cook, you know, big man wants to talk shit. Let him help you there. You know, let's see. Y'all living in a shit.
The offer is expired.
Yep. They hate each other. You can tell. You can tell they hate being around each other sometimes. Well, you know what? That's the rest of your fucking life, because you're not a spring chicken anymore. You seem to think you are, but you're not. And you're not going to get money back. You're not going to have time to throw in another grift or 10. You're in trouble. Yeah, you're stuck. And it hasn't dawned on you. You've had people, you've burned every bridge that has been out there. And you keep focusing on the wrong ones. Like I said, you're going to wake up too. You're going to figure out all these moves legally. You've been screwed by them. I mean, You have no idea how bad it's gotten. And speaking of legal moves, what a segue. Did you like that?
Yeah, that was very good.
Speaking of legal moves, today we had a wonderful little bombshell drop, and I enjoyed this. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Randy is on a tear.
Oh, this is a great filing by Randy. It really is. Now, this was you'll notice that it shows 145 pages. That's right. That's because, what was there, 11 exhibits? Is that correct?
Yeah. There
11,
were a lot of exhibits.
Yeah, so this combines all of the exhibits into one filing. It's something else. Yeah, it's 11 exhibits. So there's a main one and 10 exhibits. So it's 11 in total. Good Lord, man. It's a monster too. Now, let me look at something real fast before I pull it up here. Let me just make sure the redactions look right. Now, remember, it is a public filing. I believe I redacted everything, but if everything isn't out of it, that isn't my problem. Just to be honest, it's a public document. I mean, Jesus, I can only redact so much. I mean, my God, there are addresses all over this thing, and that's because, what you run into with this. The interesting part is that Paint Chips has essentially. He's in another case, right? We all know about that Dinesh guy case. Now, in it, he has supplied an address to the court. He has actually supplied a couple of addresses to the court. And guess what? Those apparently are the addresses that were served. The ones that he is now saying are not his address. So that's really weird, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of it, he's been
also, I think, illegal. I don't think you can give a court an address and say it's yours when it isn't.
No, it doesn't work that way. The other part, too, that is pointed out in here is that he's admitted that he knows services happening. In fact, he's probably the most flagrant of those that is admitted that he knows that the court case is there. He had e-service offered to him. Then he goes out and he not only puts that on blast, but he tags in Bolitho. He sent in email mocking it to the judge.
What an asshole. Did Randy mention that he tagged the judge?
I'm not sure if he did or not. I don't think he did in this, but Bolitho, I get the feeling Bolitho would probably see that. What's really funny is when Bolitho goes through this and looks at exhibits, he'll find the other thing. The eggplant emoji?
Oh, God. Yep.
Yeah. You'll find that the eggplant emoji is something that Paint Chips likes to use a lot. He's used it on a lot of people because apparently I think he's like Cook, he's obsessed with talking about his man business with other people. And
people's behinds and sticking things in them. Mm-hmm.
Well, I did read that article.
He's a weirdo.
Well, I read that article about him and his time in prison, and maybe I understand why he's obsessed with the eggplant. He had a lot of time to look at it.
To me, it didn't seem so much in that article that he was complaining, more so reminiscing. Just saying.
I have to rate her real quick. I'm running them off. 1 second.
I don't know, chat. What do you think? I think he's just like John, and the two of them are obsessed with.
I think they're both
butt stuff.
A little bit. Yeah, they like telling men about too much about. Well, why don't you come over here and get frisky? I mean, that's their thing.
Yeah, it's very weird. It's very weird. 100% weird. I mean, why don't they just, fly the flag already and join the Pride Parade? And we'd all help you. We'll all celebrate it. We'll all make sure that we send you a greeting card in June.
Well, you know what? I hear, like you're talking about how Cook's a good guy and Lynette's so horrible. Well, there you go. Perfect couple. Hey, they could even have Lynette perform the ceremony.
They could.
Man.
They could. Paint Chips and John
Yep. Here comes the pig wearing a wig. Oh, that was
Gross.
awesome. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my goodness. These people are so dumb, though. All right. So we have a good one, though. I mean, this is 145 pages when everything comes together. And the filing that's sitting with the court actually is combining, we've got 145 pages here. So this is our motion to declare valid service of process and entry of default and other relief. Sounds fun. So Jeremy and Elephant Shoes LLC, aka What the Hales, bind through their counsel, hereby respectfully move the court to declare service of process on defendant paint chips. It was valid and effective pursuant to Rule 4E of Federal Rules of Civil Procedure and pursuant to Rule 55A of Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, enter default against paint chips. I may say Luthman too. It just depends on when it comes up. For failure to plead or otherwise defend this action. The motion is based on the following grounds of authority. Now remember too, Luthman has his part of things. Damn it, there is another one. Give me a second so I can see another one. Son of a
This
bitch.
one's going to be rough because they put so many addresses in this thing. And look, if one accidentally escapes, that is not our fault. It is a public
Ultimately redacting. To be honest, paint chips, you enjoyed doxing people.
Yeah, you
So
better be
I
lucky
have-
we're even trying.
Yeah, I
You're
mean,
lucky
I really struggled with the idea of
because I sure as shit don't owe you anything.
That's right.
I don't know that guy any nicety. He doxed me. He doxed my house, my kids. Fuck you.
Yep, exactly. But I mean, what
We're
he did
still
though,
trying.
he wrote the FBI though with this thing. He actually wrote here. I got that redacted out too. He wrote the FBI and he he tagged in. So this is something I didn't note with my coverage of it. We saw where Bruce had sounded off on it, so you could see the tags from Bruce. Well, what you don't see on the paint chip side is he sent that to Bolitho too. But Bruce actually, even Bruce was like, that's not a good idea. You could tell because he removed Bolitho. But, stupidly enough, he still kept in everything from TikTok legal to the Florida bar to, everybody.
Didn't he
Yays.
copy Pam Bondi?
Yeah.
Pam is reading his ridiculous crap. Come on. Pam
It just
Bondi is
looks-
not reading your emails, paint chips.
It looks crazy is what it looks,
Well, of course
like anybody
These are the
would have
emails
to
that
bring.
go directly in the trash. Nobody
Well, it
reads
looks crazy
these.
to everyone,
And
again.
nobody reads the shit. No one, Richard. No one reads this. You're crazy and everybody knows it. It's not like a secret.
It's so bizarre. I mean, he says all of that was a strategy, because he wanted to get out of court actions where he talked about that. And it's like, oh, yeah, I don't think so. I usually don't think that's it. Okay. You want to read this part?
Sure. Let me make my screen bigger. In this case, in the U.S. District Court, Middle District of Florida, Luthman identified himself as movant pro se, as shown in the docket, a copy being attached hereto as Exhibit 1. Oh, good, a filing by paint chips. This should be insane.
They are something.
As shown in an objection filed by Luthman in the case on February 11th, a copy being attached hereto as Exhibit 2, and 3 as shown in a recent motion filed in the case by Paint Chips on August 26th, a copy being attached hereto, as Gwyneth Paltrow on Speechify would say, as Exhibit 3.
She does.
She totally says hereto, and I don't understand why. It
Have
doesn't say hereto, it says hereto.
I had Snoop Dogg read this to me earlier.
Does he say hereto or hereto?
Your toe.
What is it with Speechify and Here Toe?
I love Snoop Dogg reading to me though. It's really funny. Snoop, I don't know. There's just something
I always
about it.
choose Gwyneth. Always.
See,
When
I like
have
a gangster
Gwyneth, it's
rapper
not.
reading filings. There's just something really funny
I did
about
make him read Diddy's filing to me. That was
Yeah.
perfect. That was
Yeah.
perfect. AKA love. AKA P Diddy. AKA.
I just love him making fun of paint chips and these other people. It's so good. If I want a good dramatic reader, again, no politics in this statement. A person that reads really well has a great Obama, man. He has a freaking his AI in there is
Good voice.
amazing. Yeah, it's great.
voice.
It is.
Which is probably why he won. Great voice. He put everybody into a hypnosis,
Well, he sounds great on there.
He does. He does. No, I do not. I will not argue with you on that. It's true. Yet on May 9th, Elvis Durity, licensed process server, attempted to serve Luthman at the address he provided to the federal court. I believe this was the one in. Was this the one in Naples?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So this is where so if people are following this, he files something in February. All right. So we are talking about just a few short months later. So he files in February. They try to serve him in May. And this is the result.
With the result stating server attempted, the subject is unknown. The subject does not reside at this address. See Exhibit 4. Moreover, on 5 further occasions, August 7th, 8th, 11th, 12th, and 16th, licensed process server Sean Loudermilk attempted to serve paint chips at the address, the same one, with the following results. See Exhibit 5. Attempted service, no answer at the door, no cars. The hurricane shutters are up all over the house. There was no answer at the neighbor. 8,
So see, I mean, he's dodging out. It sounds like a fake address or something. Like, this is very bizarre right here. So there's hurricane shutters.
Was there a hurricane that week?
I have no idea. I don't know. Was there? Let me check. Let me look that up. Let's see. In August.
Hurricanes.
Was there a
August
hurricane in
2025? Florida.
It says Florida. Yeah, there was Hurricane Aaron. It was in
when?
August. Now, it was. Is that in 25th? Let me see. On August. Let me be more clear. Okay, because let's see. That's August 7th.
I'm gonna ask Grok. I feel like Grok's gonna know this faster.
It's a big storm forming, but that doesn't. Hurricane Aaron developed on the 11th, so no, it wasn't there yet. But there was a prediction of one coming in.
At least one. Grok says there was at least one.
I see where they're talking
about. It formed
about
on August 11th and intensified into a Category 5 by the 16th.
Yeah, so but see, this is on the 7th, so they may have been prepping for it potentially. I don't know.
I'm going to ask Grok, do
do
you know when the first warning went out? Warning.
Okay, so here the note disappears and the trash cans go out. So
the first official public warning for Hurricane Aaron was issued on August 11th.
So it was 11th that they. Okay, so
it's possible though that he was watching the weather. You would have seen it forming before the 11th, probably. I guess.
Maybe that's like the loofahs for men, He's like, is there a hurricane? He's like, no, but something blows around here. Wait, I should say that.
It looks like the earliest you could have seen it was August 9th, pre-formation monitoring. NHC's tropical weather outlook highlighted a tropical wave off Africa with a low 10 to 20% development, odds over 2 to 7 days, but no formal warnings. So if anything, that would have been a real good guess if you had already put up your hurricane shutters on the 7th.
Man.
I'm not buying it.
it. I mean, it goes forward. So on the 8th, they go back. You have attempted service. No answer at the door. No change. No answer at the neighbor either. Then Then the 11th. So let me see. Is that over a weekend? Is that what we're seeing? I need to know now. I need to see this. Since we started looking, I got to know how this sets up. I hate it when we start micro freaking and analyzing. The
I don't. This is the part
I love it
because
that's a weekend. I knew it had to be a little weekend. Knew it because
we always find something when we start digging.
Well, it tells you also you're interested in it. So we have the first service attempt on a Thursday afternoon at 2:25. Then we have on a Friday at around 2. So it's really close to 2 p.m. We have our second attempt. Then they come back on Monday. Now on Monday, interestingly, there's no answer, but the notes that had been left, they're gone. That note is gone and the trash cans are out. Huh.
So somebody's there.
Yeah. So they attempt again. This would be Friday. So they're moving around here. They give it a couple of days. There's no answer. Trash cans out. And then on the 16th, which interestingly, they try on a Saturday. That's interesting. There's no answer at the door. There's no change. And there was no answer for the neighbor either. Well, so there went yet another fucking address.
Oh, well.
I don't give a shit, honestly. You know what? Redaction is...
no! Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So in the case here in the U.S. Supreme Court, he's the one who volunteered in the case with Dinesh. He put it's in his signature.
Yeah,
so that's what they're trying to serve on. It's not some mystery meat here. He filed, which we'll see the filing there. So
he put his own address in public court documents.
It's wild because he wrote again.
Or maybe a fake address. I'm not sure.
His freaking FBI letter is just nuts, man. That whole thing.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Oh my god! Actually, let's see. I think I have that here. Give me a second. Let me see if it'll. It's been the screenshot thing has been so weird as of late. There it is. So here's his FBI complaint. Dear sirs or madam, I just feel like this needs to be in here too. Please find attached a courtesy copy of the formal complaint and request for investigation submitted to the FBI Jacksonville field office by my father, Richard Luthman Sr. The complaint concerns a knowingly and fraudulently filed affidavit of service at Hales v. Preston, blah, 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 as well as resulting misconduct, elder abuse, and fraud on the court. So apparently when he does the kind of shit, it's none of this stuff. But elder abuse, it's elder abuse if someone tries to serve him. I got you.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Also,
but he says that Jeremy.
Also, I have to point out here, I used to feel sorry for Paint Chips' parents, because I figured that they would be the type of parents who wouldn't want anything to do with their shameful son. Because if he were my son, with his background, I wouldn't have anything to do with him. I'd never speak to him again. If this were my kid. And come to find out that this guy's father is not only supporting him, but goes on that awful show of his to help him harass people. Wow. Wow. It's like an entire family of shit. Sorry, but you are.
Does he really go on there? I have not.
He did. He went on the show. He went on the show. That's what this is about. He went on Paint Chips' show with him to mock Jeremy Hales for serving him instead of Paint Chips. Which is what was really stupid,
I remember that now. It just didn't process that it was his dad for me.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know
his
why.
dad. That's his dad. I mean, this is again, how does a Richard Luthman happen? Look no further than Richard Luthman Sr. Because clearly this guy sees nothing wrong with what he's up to. What a disaster of a parent.
Not just that. You would think after everything else that has happened, perhaps they would be like, well, maybe there's more to this story than we're being told. You know what I mean?
Well, apparently they've decided to buy into their son's bullshit.
Oh, it's so weird, man. It's so
gross.
bizarre. But he calls. Then this is why I want to note this again, because everybody knows about the unfortunate incident that happened with Charlie Kirk. Again, it doesn't matter any of your beliefs, whatever. That's a terrible incident. I think everybody can agree on that. Well, he tries to bring that up so he can make cancellation. He's like, Jeremy Hales represents exactly the type of quote unquote paid agitator President Trump warned about when speaking at the Charlie Kirk funeral. Those who exploit political tension and social media chaos for money. So this right here, this is an attempt to utilize things for cancellation. We have one side of this, we've called this out, where one stream had people saying the thing that happened to Kirk, they were saying should happen to Hales. And it was like, oh my God, And now you have the other side of it where they're trying to use that for cancellation. Bruce threw in on this too. The funny thing about it is but with the tags, what really amused me is in the tags, the one tag gets removed. I mean, look at all the tags coming up in this.
Oh my God.
But Bruce, what was really funny is, remember when Fed 1, when all that stuff rolled around, and Bruce, even though he responded and told Paint Chips how he should ask questions of Randy, back when, remember he said he wasn't connected to them in any way, shape, or form. Well, here he's throwing in on their emails yet again. And not only that, he's trying to connect Randy Shockett to it to cancel him. He's trying to call. He even says what's
wait a
wild
minute.
about this.
Didn't he take someone out of the CCs?
Yeah, out of the tags he takes out. So in here, Bolitho was tagged in for the original when Paint Chips sent it. But when it gets sent from Bruce, Paint Chips' tags, they seem to be -1. A certain Bolitho seems to be missing.
So Bruce doesn't want Judge Bolitho to see him writing more slander about Randy Shockett. Interesting. That's interesting. And yet, what's funny about this? Is this on the exhibits in this filing that we're reading?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
God, it would be great if it was. It would be great if it was.
I don't think it is. But this, it's still up there later on to throw in with talking about because again, they try with the Florida license in 2005, but he says here he doesn't know what was presented because he's saying, I'd like to bring your attention to his past here. I do not see how he could have been omitted. That means he doesn't know the process. He doesn't know what happened, but it's yet another call for harassment investigation. He wants them to look into. It's crazy, but this is part of that Paint Chips mailing. So, oh my God,
it's crazy.
It's all crazy, man. I look at this stuff and
these people.
Can it get weirder? Yes, it can. It can every single time you look at it. It can.
Especially if I'm off the mic, man. Then it's it's going to get super weird.
Yep. Anytime you're sick or if there's a weekend, you're sick, weekend or gone. Basically everything when it's like, what would be the perfect time? When she's not here to cover it. It's like fake conspiring.
And it happens every time in every case that I'm working on. It happens in Laura Owens every single time.
What's really funny about it is so much like when you were gone on vacation, not on vacation, but when you were dealing with family issues last time, so much happened within that time frame that when we were breaking it down, I was like, I can't even remember everything that happened in this.
I know, it was crazy. It was, and I'll never forget it. I covered the Maya Kowalski case, and I had streamed it every single day for 33 days. And on verdict day, I shit you not, was the one day that I had to take my daughter to the to get her driver's license. And I was driving and not able to be on live when the verdict came down. Like, it was crazy. I had other people running my stream, but Luckily, Brad was there to do it for me, but I was in the car on the phone trying to be there, trying to call in. It happens every time. So if you want something big to happen in a case, I just need to take a vacation.
I took emergency leave when the Depp case came up. The reason I was, I said I thought I could get a week, no more. I took emergency leave. I was like, there's an emergency. What kind of emergency? I can't tell you.
It is an emergency, though.
Yeah, it's an emergency. It was. It was an emergency 4 freaking years of my life. That's what
Exactly.
Okay, so in this case here in the U.S. District, Middle District, Florida, Luthman, plaintiff pro se is shown a copy of the complaint. That'll be Exhibit 6, signed by him on April 23rd, 2025. So we have another address that pops up, okay? In June. So we're talking just a few months later. On 8/55, process server attempts to serve him at that with
server attempted, unable to make contact at this time. No activity in the area. See Exhibit 4. Moreover,
wait, let me see another fucking address.
Oh well.
No, I'm going to remove it. Yes, they're everywhere in this filing. They're all
they're
over.
They're just everywhere.
I've redacted. I've gone through and redacted the hell out of them.
Too bad.
Yeah,
just keep popping up.
Typically I'll go through and word search, and knock stuff out that way, but
the funny thing is, I mean, this is kind of like payback times 1,000, and we didn't even do it. That's what's funny, is that this is just a public document with his address in it like 8,000 times, which is funny to me.
It's not even, for that, he took your address that is not in filings or anything.
That's right. Is just a repetition. My address is in no filings whatsoever. It's in no public documents that I'm aware of.
Yeah, this is just repetition of what he's noted in other filings that he
has put in public documents. Yes.
Yeah, he filed pro se. Again, it's just a courtesy. I redact. It's a habit too. That's why I'm like, well, let me redact it. It annoys me if I don't. So I've got to. I have to. Otherwise, it'll.
No, I agree. I mean, I try to do it as well when nobody wants to be, throwing addresses out there. It's not something. It's not something that we ever do.
No, but it's
something that these assholes do constantly. Something that Luthman has done as a matter of intimidation. That's what he does. He does it to intimidate and harass. That is his whole object. Whereas, we try to redact all of these things so that the opposite, so that does not happen to people. We do not want that to happen. We say that every single time we stream. Do not contact anyone we talk about. Do not send these people emails. Do not comment on their, on their crap. Don't get involved with these people because they're crazy.
With paint chips and freaking Volpe, they melt. Like the level of harassment that they engage in going after Jeremy Hales is insane. Like the emails and stuff, they tag us into a bunch of them.
Yeah, mine goes straight to the spam folder, so I never see them unless you tell me, hey, did you see such and such? And then I go and look.
I look at everything, man. I don't care. Because you know what? If they're going to make the cha-ching rain in my pocket, I don't care. I'm going to make fun of them. I'm good. I'm game with making fun of whomever, The crazier and the stupider, the better.
I just find that it's a nicer day when I don't have to look at their name in my inbox.
I don't mind making fun of anything. Like I said, I make fun of stupid. I'm all takers kind of person. And they're just like that interview was amazing. Like just showing me it's an example of what we've seen over and over again. You have people that are covering things. And I'm not saying that I never don't know something or I get something wrong, but when we're covering something, if we need to find out about it, this isn't an or else moment. We're not going to put someone in jail with a mistake with, stating something. With Lynette, her being told the wrong thing about things like protection orders, that will put a person in jail.
Mm-hmm.
That would
It'll put
deprive
her
them.
in jail.
Yes. And
But she doesn't want to ask a real lawyer for advice on that before she does it. That's incredible to me. And, you know, I happen to know how Volmut is and the kinds of things that he says to people. And, you know, he's very confident in his what he thinks is his legal knowledge. So I can imagine exactly what he said to her. And it was probably something like, that'll never happen. It's fine. You know,
he said it all over in
you
comments.
can say whatever you want.
He said it
Oh, yeah?
throughout
Did
the
he?
comments.
I didn't see his
Yeah.
comments.
Oh, repeatedly. It's in that video, man. If you want to have like a feeding field day, if you want something to read, to laugh at, and also cover there. Yeah.
Well,
go through the comments.
I think we might actually go watch it together on Rumble tomorrow.
Okay. I went ahead and downloaded it and everything just in case it
I think that's
vanishes.
what we will do. I think we will have a Rumble exclusive to go and watch that tomorrow.
You gotta wonder too. Why don't they ever ask this question? They say, Jeremy Hales is litigious. Jeremy Hales flags channels. Jeremy Hales can take down channels. I mean, paint chips and others, they may be a testament to that, right? Maybe. I'm not saying they are. I'm just saying, you know, channels fall, right? And yet, we have people like Volmut staying up. Now, does Volmut think that's because YouTube loves him that much? Or does it say that maybe he's fucking up so badly with stuff like that interview? Oh, I want him to stay up forever. Absolutely.
Right.
That was gold, man. It was gold. These people, I'm curious where it ends. Because again, we already have a lawsuit against Dan Owens because Dan Owens would not act on a protective order. If they ignore things like that, then it just drills in even more.
Yeah.
All right. So we were, again, there's another filing. There's the 26th. They go on the 16th. And the result is, here you are.
The server attempted, unable to make contract at this time. No activity in the area. See Exhibit 4. Moreover, on 3 further occasions, June 19th, June 21st, and August 12th, process server Elvis and Sean attempted to serve paint chips at that address with the following results. No answer this time. Window louvers remain in closed position. No noise inside. No activity inside. Then in 621,
So it's the same thing we're seeing with the other addresses. You know, there's it's just like abandoned properties. You know,
no answer. Window louvers remain closed. No light inside. No vehicle. No response at neighbor. 8:12, 3:30 in the afternoon. No answer at the door. The card is still there. The neighbor downstairs says that no one is living there. She says that the owner is Jim, and he is over 80 years old and resides up north during the summer.
So, you know, what's weird about that is if he's using a false address in another court case, that's a problem, right?
You would think so. Mm-hmm. You would think
seems,
so.
That seems a bit on the, what's that word? Oh, yeah, fraudulent side.
Fraudulent. That's weird for a guy who was indicted for fraud, huh?
Yeah, you would never expect that, would you?
No. On August 18th, another process server, Goldsmith, signed an affidavit of non-service which stated inter alia between August 12th and August 15th, I conducted a series of investigative efforts in good faith to
effectuate personal service on the defendant. My actions during that time included backroads. No, I'm just kidding. No backroads.
Wait a minute. What? I could use one of those.
We checked it in with this prison short shorts buddies. This is the, oh my God, it's like the Laura Owens case, only it's the extreme short shorts edition.
Because he dares wear short shorts.
Oh, so sexy. So sexy. All the clowns wear short shorts. So they do records and database searches. I conducted background checks and proprietary database searches to obtain the defendant's last known residential address, vehicle registration, mailing address, and known associates. And everybody said, who's that? No, I'm just kidding. These searches yielded multiple possible locations. Florida, primarily certain areas. So, physical attempts. I personally visited several addresses associated, all in specific areas in Florida. At each location, I observed no sign of occupancy. It was informed by neighbors or occupants that the defendant had recently vacated or was not known at the location. Oh, so this sounds like somebody really attempting to stay on the move, doesn't it? Recently vacated. Either that or having to stay on the move because, well, I don't know. Fill in that blank. You know what I mean?
I would actually bet that he has more than one property and he does move because of this. He's probably there are probably multiple people trying to serve him all the time. Think about it. Think about the way that he behaves.
Well, you listen to his statements too. He sounds like paranoid as hell. He sounds like, irrationally paranoid. When you get down to it. Some of it's probably rational, you see how he treats people, right. But also, there's an irrational component as well. So, surveillance operations. Surveillance was conducted on 2 separate occasions at what was believed to be the defendant's primary residence. Over several hours, I observed the property, but did not witness any individuals matching the defendant's description. And since he looks like
yes,
like a moon, in orbit.
He looks like the Pillsbury Doughboy, but greasier. Unshowered.
It's like the Death Star moving into range. Suddenly you see a shadow.
It wouldn't be hard to spot
him. Looming over a picnic basket.
It takes up half the horizon when you're looking towards him.
He's like the criminal version of freaking Yogi Bear. What's in the picnic basket? Holy crap.
Oh my
God. By the way, there are over 3,100 of you fine folks today. Welcome. If you would like to help out the channel today, make sure that you tell people we are live and appreciate you. Obviously, kicking off the new week, going right up to a new month. Man, closing in on the end of the year. It's definitely appreciated. If you'd like to go further, you could like, and even further, you could help out the channel with something we call the Hale breadstick treatment. That obviously is something that you do not have to do in short. So we're not talking about the same thing that your system does. They're like, the breadstick treatment. That's code for something we used to do in the slammer. Like, no, maybe that's why they call it the slammer because of that.
I don't know.
That's why paint chips called it that. Anyway, open source intelligence monitoring. Given the defendant's apparent online activity, I monitored public podcast content and social media where the defendant had a known presence. Yeah, of course. Because you remember like the stupid humping the table or whatever the freaking...
Yes, I believe I have Rosalind's remix of that somewhere. I should add that to StreamYard so we can just play it whenever we want to.
You need that tomorrow for sure for the intro. That's how
Rosalind, are you listening? Make sure I have a link to that. I know it's in the Dropbox somewhere, but I don't know where.
Oh my God, Rosalind, that was really funny. The remix of it was so funny. That's what made him so mad at Rosalind Duke. That's why he started.
Right, because he was being funny, and then everyone just made fun of him for it.
That's another link, a commonality that he and John Cook have. They both obsess over Rosalind Duke. There was a section of the interview that was about Rosalind Duke.
And it was all lies too, by the way. Nothing that he said about Rosalind was true. Nothing. Yeah. She has not said any of those things that he said. She did not tell anyone to call CPS at all. That is just garbage.
What's crazy is it's the way he was, he said that he turned over a video. She'd made it private, but
she never made any video private about those. That's another thing he said. He said that she made the video private. She has not made any video about them private.
Well, they lie. I hope people understand when this is noted too. Like Rosalind, you've seen what she does out there. You see the level. I think I think we clown pretty hard sometimes, but there is a level, and none of us talk about going and flagging, or like he said, we turned her over for incitement, and they
False
said
call to CPS or whatever. Rosalind hasn't had anything to do with any of that. That's garbage. And she did not make any video of her conspiracy, the conspiracy videos that she's been doing, deconstructing a conspiracy. Not one of them is private. You can go and watch every single one.
By the way, you know who has a great video I saw today? There's a video on the fence, the just the whole fence scam, all of that coming together. Tiggy Bounce, Tiggy Bounce that we see a lot.
Yeah.
Tiggy Bounce has a YouTube channel as well. They have about 100 subscribers. If people would give them some love. Actually, if a mod could put the link in, I would love to see them gain a little bit. In fact, I might cover one of their videos, maybe to help them grow some. But
the fence one, was it the fence one? I
good.
just saw that. I didn't watch the whole thing because I fell asleep while I was watching it. It's not their fault. I'm just sick.
Feeling good. It's a good video. No. I thought about covering
but
it.
It was before I fell asleep. I was enjoying it a lot, and I got to go back and rewatch it now.
It's good enough. Like, it has so many receipts in it that I thought about going to it and pulling it up and covering it maybe on the weekend or something. That way they could grow, maybe help grow their channel, because they've got about 100 subscribers, and that's good so far. But the quality of that video, people should see it. So
by the way, aren't we supposed to owe Lips $300,000 by like last month?
Indeed.
Did you get your bill yet?
No, weirdly enough. In fact, I have heard that they haven't been wanting to really cooperate and talk and do things,
Oh, you mean they're not responding to our attorney?
Yeah, it's kind of strange, isn't it?
That's bizarre. Don't we owe them $300,000 now?
That's what I thought. I thought.
That's so weird. Why wouldn't they want to communicate with us to send the bill?
Yeah, you would think. You would think, since we are being destroyed there, and we owe them that much money, you would think they would be all over that, right?
Hey, Felisa, better go check with Lips.
I said Tiggy, by the way. I meant Tizzy. I don't know. DeBounce is the channel.
I thought it was
Tizzy DeBounce. Well, it's Tizzy
Tiggy
DeBounce. It's Tizzy DeBounce.
Oh my God! This whole time I thought it was Tiggy Bounce.
I think it is Tiggy Bounce with the. I don't know, but the channel is Tizzy DeBounce. TIZZY
Oh, gotcha.
And they actually, I think, jumped up since they've been covering. They have 349 subscribers. That's good, but it would be really funny. It would be good, first of all.
That's real good for a brand
them.
New start, by the way. That's real good.
They're growing. They're growing exponentially. For that video by itself. It actually, the fence one has done really well. I saw it when it came up, and it had, let me see, it had maybe a couple of hundred hits on it. Now it's got about 2,000. So it's moving along, but I'd like to see it a lot more. So I think this weekend, or I'll plan it that way. We'll see what goes on. But I would like it one day to sit down and cover, number one, because they did a great job with receipts. But number two, I think we could kick them up to, 1,000 subscribers is that milestone everybody aims for. And they're moving along. So, props to them. Like I said, I thought they did a great video there. It's really good. People after this or tomorrow, whatever, check it out for sure. Okay, so they start watching social media, where the defendant made vague and evasive references to his location and circumstances, indicating knowledge of pending legal matters and suggesting a deliberate attempt to avoid being served. That is indeed, that is true. He kept making statements where, you're not going to be able to serve me. You remember all that garbage where he was bragging about how nobody could serve him? I remember that very well.
Yes.
Conclusion. Despite diligent efforts and multiple investigative approaches, I was unable to personally serve the defendant. Now, based on the totality of the evidence, including avoidance behavior and vague statements made publicly by... that would be
the defendant. I believe the defendant is intentionally evading service.
Hmm.
Due to the above, plaintiffs concur that paint chips is deliberately evading service of process. The affidavit of process server Griffin is attached here to as Exhibit 8 and has been filed with this court confirming that service was effectuated on August 4th, 2025 at approximately 11:10 a.m. The affidavit further indicates that Luthman confirmed receipt of the served court documents, 100 pages, by posting about them with his father online in a YouTube video called Unwatchable by Dick and Volpe on August 5th, 2025.
So that's so funny. I mean, he confirms it because he goes out. He thinks that he actually thinks he won something by mocking. And the funny thing is,
that's going to get him served.
Yeah, because he admitted that he got it. He knew about it. He admits that he is being served papers. He knows all about it, and he and his dad get out there. And I think paint chips. He understood that happened. That's why he's flipped out and tried to go to the FBI and more. Because that's him throwing an absolute shit fit. That's what that is.
Mm-hmm. And also, this is exactly the same thing that happened to Robbie. Robbie let it be known he knew they were trying to serve him too, and that didn't work out for him, did it? Because the judge was like, "Yeah, you're served." This
is like what Stupid Dave did, but on steroids.
Yep, and I can't wait for the judge to rule on both of these because it's going to have to go the same way it went for Robbie. There's no doubt about it in my mind, no doubt about it at all. The YouTube video, which features paint chips with his dumbass dad, constitutes an admission by paint chips that he received actual notice of the lawsuit through the substitute service effectuated at his dwelling. And then there's a link to the YouTube with his dad. This is not the only time that Luthman admitted that he received actual notice of the lawsuit. Ironically, this is not the only time that Luthman admitted that he received actual notice of the lawsuit. This is because plaintiffs have knowledge that Luthman regularly uses the email address Richard Luthman at whatever for business and personal communications as evidenced by requests for waiver of service pursuant to federal rules.
It's also because he's written like 1 million times out of that email address. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he's written to us all.
Yes. We all know he uses it.
He's written to Randy multiple times and responded to him too.
So they were sent via USPS priority mail to Luthman. The email was sent to the address. So what he's doing is he's mailing it, and he's mailing it physically, and he's mailing it
snail mail
online.
And email.
Yep. So, and this is what he admits to here. He admits he's gotten and was responded to by Luthman acknowledging receipt of the actual lawsuit, thus admitting for a second time that he received actual notice of the lawsuit. This right here is epic when you think about, because this is a self-own. This is a wrecking ball going to the whole idea. If you are, here's a little thing. Maybe you could probably figure this out on your own. If you're dodging service, unless you live in a foreign country or something, if you're in the U.S., don't go online and brag about how you've received it. Pretend. And I can say that now because every freaking ecosystem weirdo, all of them have done that. All of them have gone out. They all talk a big game, by the way. But what it happens here is you potentially put yourself on the hook for paying for service. When you dodge and you do all that and you cost people more money, you can potentially rack up a bill for yourself. So
right.
You have to do it the right way,
Yeah, you're not supposed to evade service. You're supposed to just accept it.
If you're evading,
it's your civic duty to accept the service. This is how we avoid street fights. We decide we will take our grievances to court so that we're not killing each other in the streets. And so you have to play by the rules. You can't just avoid them. That's not how that works.
It's so crazy. By the way, just random. So this weekend, I read through that 2013 article, the BBB article, where he talks about Armenia. I had forgotten how many admissions. So
he's tons of admissions in there.
Yeah, he talks about monetary sanctions. So he said that he has never been disciplined, by a judge ever. And yet in that alone, he talks about being disciplined.
Yep, he does.
It's amazing. There's so much in that
full
thing.
of absolute garbage.
Yeah.
If he hasn't been sanctioned, if he hasn't been disciplined, then he only has himself to blame that everyone thinks he has, because he wrote that in that article.
Yep. 100%. He wrote it down himself. He wrote about being in Armenia, starting a new life, all that. Yep. So everything that Larry says about Armenia, it's based on when he was like, hey, this guy before he's fled here again.
And
you
he
can
even
draw
says that he fled to avoid sanctions. He says that.
It's just amazing stuff, man. And all these judges. Well, either he's talking about the corruption of the system, so that'll play real well in court, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, sure. A judge will love to hear him talk about how much he hates judges.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll play real well. So
he's the kind of guy like Gingras, who was described by people who know him as someone who doesn't play well in the sandbox. He has sandbox issues. That's how they would describe him. Bruce has a lot of sandbox issues, doesn't play well with others.
I thought it was hilarious reading that, because I thought, man, when you just stack up a few of his filings, and the jail file, I ran over the jail filing too, which was fun to go back to. I have to say, I love that filing. But between reading that and going over everything else, it was just, I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, so this means there are valid grounds to find valid service process on Luthman. They go over case law here. Courts have liberally construed for Rule 4D1 found valid service of process when a defendant has actual notice of the lawsuit filed against them. So right here, right there, they know it's there. They know they're being sued. So right there, that could be valid. And then they have other case law. When defendant has actual notice of lawsuit, service of process left with defendant's apartment complex manager who resided in a different building than the defendant was effective. So with a different person, remember they were talking about his dad. So there's your different person. Yeah. Then here's another case law. Service of process left at defendant's former residence was effective because defendant had actual knowledge of the suit. Now, in such situations, notice of pending lawsuit satisfies due process of law requirement that a defendant received fair notice of proceedings against him and thus provides the court. I mean, this is so cut and dry. I mean, when you get down to it, again, Randy, he drops an absolute bomb here, just like he did. This is like the Robbie bomb, but bigger, It's like he was like, hey, I've got a nuke for this guy. Let me drop this one. Yep. Here's the Belitho thing. So it is in here. All right.
Oh, my God.
Check this out, folks. So Luthman even copied the judge, the magistrate, in the case we're talking about, Belitho, in the response to the request waiver of service the same day. He just couldn't
help himself. He had to do it. He couldn't help himself.
What? Paint Chips, why would you send it to the judge? I don't understand that. I mean, you do you. That was pretty dumb.
It's part of his brilliant legal strategy. Don't you worry about it.
I mean, God, these people, man. It blew my mind.
Yeah, it's crazy. That response again proves Paint Chips has actual notice of this lawsuit filed against him, Exhibit 10, and there are valid grounds to find valid service process on Luthman. Under federal rule, if a defendant located within the United States fails without good cause to sign and return a waiver of service requested by a plaintiff, the defendant becomes responsible for the cost of service. The rule requires that the defendant be given a reasonable time of at least 30 days after the request is sent to return the waiver if the request is sent within the United States. If the waiver is not returned within this 30-day period, the defendant may be held liable for the expenses incurred in making service and reasonable expenses, including attorney's fees and of any motion. Imagine how much it will be if he has to pay for all these attempts of service. They had to hire a guy to surveil him.
Yeah.
It's going to be thousands of dollars.
And again, he's out there bragging about the clown show, you know? He was absolutely bragging about the clown show.
Yeah,
so it is tizzied about. I don't know why I kept thinking your name is
Tizzy. It used to be Tiggy Bounce, she said.
So it was Tiggy Bounce, right? That's correct, right? I'm not crazy.
Yes,
right?
it was, but now it's Tizzy. Right. She changed her name.
That actually is a better idea anyway, because if you look up Tiggy, that'll pull up
kid
certain
stuff,
cartoons and stuff, and you'll never find your channel. So with Tizzy, I'm going to try out searching on that and everything. But good, I'm glad. I'm glad. It's a good video. It's a very good video.
Yeah, awesome. I got to go back and finish it. Tug, I hate to do this to you, but I think I'm going to have to bounce. Sure. My back has had just about.
You've been here longer than I figured you'd make it. So
yeah, this is it. My back is saying go lay flat, so that's what I'm going to do.
All right, good to go.
All right,
go rest.
Bye, guys.
See you. Yes, Megan did not think that. See, as you probably know, we switch off, and today is not normally my day. You know, Mondays, because I cover off the weekend. Monday typically isn't my day. It's usually, I won't call it my rest day because I do stuff, but I don't control the live stream. So it gives me a little break on that. But Megan's been sick, was having issues with her back and everything else, but she didn't think she'd make it at all. So she's been a trooper, actually hanging in as long as she did. So props to her. Give her some applause. See her out. For real. I mean, honestly, I thought she was going to be down for the day, but she made it in. So let's continue this, though. Let's knock this sucker out. Again, we won't be able to read the 1,000,000 pages attached. We'll probably go through the exhibits. I'm going to say on there, I mean, there are filings in the Dinesh lawsuit in here where you kind of get a feeling for how Luthman comports himself in court. So if you want a feeling for that, we could definitely go over those another day. We have a few pages still left on this part, though. And then, again, it comes in at 145 pages because of all the other stuff. The crazy thing, though, the real point to take out of this is, again, Luthman knew that he was being sued. He decided to do a little dance and brag about it. He was like, "Oh, you can't catch me," and brought his father on and stuff. And that ultimately, it dug a hole for him. He makes it deeper because he decides on the same day that he's served paperwork by email, basically saying, hey, you can accept service by email. He not only replies noting that it's there, but he replies with this insane freaking thing and sends it to the judge in the case. He attaches him to it. That's so nuts. So, plaintiff hereby requests for all attorney fees and costs after September 16th, 2025, associated with effectuate service on Luthman and for preparing this motion. Plaintiff should not be required to incur excessive costs to effect service on process on defendants who are evading service. I mean, that's true. You shouldn't be racking up bills. Now, we'll see what actually happens, with the judge in this case. I don't know. But I do think they are definitely served. Like this does them in. Okay. So plaintiff requests the court exercise discretion to extend the time for service, permit alternative methods for service, or retroactively validate service attempts, particularly when a defendant such as Luthman is actively avoiding service. Now, pursuant to, you have your rule here of Federal Rule of Civil Procedure, Luthman was required to serve an answer or other responsive pleadings within 21 days after being served with the summons and complaint. More than 21 days have elapsed since he was served with the summons and complaint on August 4th, 2025, and has failed to answer or otherwise respond to the complaint, and the time for doing so has expired. Now, you want to remember, too, he's not just some rando out there. The guy was a lawyer. He is now a disbarred lawyer, but still, he knows. He knows better. Or at least he should know better, I'm going to say. Now, Luthman is not a minor, an incompetent person. I think we can argue that. But for the, you've got to say incompetent in a legal way, not incompetent in a, what an idiot way, or active duty military U.S. The above demonstrates the multiple prior attempts to serve Luthman were unsuccessful because, again, when you look at it, he's actively avoiding service of process. It notes here, quote, even in the absence of good cause, a district court has the discretion to extend the time for service of process. As stated by this court, the apparent efforts by defendant to evade service would likely justify the court exercising its discretion under Rule 4M to grant plaintiff's extension. And here, again, is case law, noting that evading service quote, may justify the grant of extension of time for service of process in the absence of good cause. Now, on August the 4th, plaintiff effectuated substitute service by leaving a copy of the summons and complaint at defendant's dwelling with stepmother, a person of suitable age and discretion who resides there, in accordance with, again, you have this rule. Luthman denies living at the parent's home. Despite that denial, though, he confirmed actual receipt of the court document served on his parents. So here's his screw up, too. So even though he denies living at the home, he's confirming that he did indeed receive the document. I mean, that's big time. That's actually big time with it. Now, Luthman, he did this by posting about the summons. Yes. What's he do? He posts about it. And a complaint served on his parents on the August 4th, 2025, by referring to, quote unquote, 100 pages of documents. So he actually refers to it. He says in his live stream that they were served with 100 pages of documents. Again, there's an admission that it happened. Some people are dumb and then they're dumb. You know what I mean? Like this is stupid there. It is. In a YouTube video titled Unknown by, again, the two there on the 5th, 2025, the day after substitute service was made with his stepmother. So, day after, does a video talking about the documents that were served. So again, he knows very well they were there and he has them. The federal rule here noted explicitly authorizes service by, quote, leaving a copy of each at an individual's dwelling or usual place of abode with someone of suitable age and discretion who resides there. Now, Luthman's pattern of evading service, combined with his public acknowledgement of receiving court documents through YouTube video and by his own email, demonstrates the service was effective and that Luthman has received actual notice of lawsuit. Wherefore, so here's our wherefore. Plaintiff, they always respectfully request of the court that they declare the service of process against Luthman was valid and effective, find that Luthman has received actual notice of the lawsuit, order that Luthman's time to respond to the complaint has begun to run from the date of substitute service, and enter a clerical default against him pursuant to Rule 55A, Rules of Civil Procedure. Ordered that Luthman pay for attorney fees and costs after September 16th associated with effectuating service on Luthman and for preparing this motion. So he should have to pay for this motion here, they're noting. So any costs plus having to file this and whatever the court thinks should have to happen with that too. Now, there are a lot of documents attached to this sucker as well. Some of them, let me show you a few. You know, they show you, Lord, some of these exhibits. Again, there are, I mean, pages and pages of this thing. The way they set up in the combined document here, let me just bring this up for you real quick. The way that they bring up, you can see like, this is exhibit 1. You can see change where it's combined. You can see the page count change, but you can also see at the top, if you're looking at the combined one, you can see 115.1. So you can see all of the different items set here. And when you go through, what's the purpose of this, by the way? Well, when they get to the movement here, this is in this other case, he has represented by himself, and it has an address with it. So the addresses that they have been targeting were mentioned by Luthman in the other case. You know, that that Dinesh guy, the one that's ongoing right now, the one they love to talk about, you know, the one he likes to take aim at that Dinesh guy with. Well, when you go through, again, with all this stuff, it's talking about, again, this is just adding everything to it. But when you go through, you can see he added an address. He also does this, not just with this filing, but as you go forward, give me a second here too. I didn't want you to have to watch me scroll. That's why I jumped off of that. You also have his filings. You can see through here, right? You see all the filing here. Well, let me roll down through it. I showed you the beginning page. You don't have to see all the other garbage with it. There's a point to showing you this. It's a long filing. Actually, the filing would probably be funny to go over. But in this, oh my God, some of this stuff too, you know. It's so nuts. Look at this, by the way. Let's check this out. You can see he signed it and his address. So he puts an address here on his documentation as well. Notice too, parties in this case. Who did he try to add on to that? Again, Donald Trump, Pam Bondi. Again, so him trying to do that, him trying to add in these huge political figures, this isn't like a one-off for him. He does it all the freaking time. he's so nuts about it. Now, this isn't the only document. Actually, on this too, he has 2 addresses. Let me just say this as well. Let me show you. So it wasn't just one time either. It's on here twice. Okay. So you can see the date in February. We're not talking about way back. Now, there's another document that is attached. Let's see. Let me show you this one. Again, I think this is better than just reading through everything here, because you know, they aren't pertinent to the case itself, but they are improving the point. So you can see this is yet another filing in the same case. And in this one, you have Luthman also doing the same thing. He, God, that's a long document. These are long documents, by the way. You can hear me jumping through it. But this is in August. So August the 26th, he includes date and address. So we're not talking about the way back. We are talking about currently. He has been providing an address that he is saying he does not reside at. Now, that is a problem, by the way. If you do not reside at the specific address that you are providing to a court, you know, they're supposed to be able to know where you are in case something comes up. And yet this guy, when he's filing cases, he's putting an address on where he's saying he does not live there. That's wild. Now, there are insane letters attached to this thing too. These are pretty funny. I mean, getting a picture of how his emails are. We'll go over some of these at another day, but they include, the reason they're included, by the way, let me give you one example of this. The reason that these are included by Randy is he's essentially saying, hey, you know that email address that we sent stuff to? Yeah, that email address is in use. Why is that? How do we know it's in use? Well, you can see him emailing from it. And his freaking stuff is nuts sometimes. Some of them are just crazy. You know, he loves putting in the eggplants. He also loves putting in Ye Old Orange Man. For some reason, he adds Trump's picture to so many of these. They seem nuts. I mean, it seems absolutely nuts. Imagine he adds in some of the craziest stuff. And these are items that he knew would end up filed in court. He just doesn't give a damn. You know, he figures that no one will take action. No judge is going to take action on it. And that, to me, that's wild, you know, because ultimately, you don't know that that's going to happen. You don't know that a judge is going to cut you a break on that. A judge could look at some of the stuff that Luthman has done and be like, yeah, that's crazy, man. Some of it is wild, by the way. But there are 10 exhibits throughout this. I'm looking in and seeing if there's any more. We have the we have the affidavit of service, for example. You know, the guy who attempted service, he tells us, breaking down what exactly he tried to do, which is it's the same thing that we just read through, only more detailed. You know, there's not a lot in that. Let me make sure. Now, you actually, the request for waiver, the thing that really messed him up, by the way, it was, let's see. He sent a request for waiver. Let me move down below it. It notes, hey, I'm sending this to you at a physical address, which I jumped past, and I'm sending it to you also in email form. It's saying, hey, there's a lawsuit that has been commenced against you. A copy of the complaint is attached on this notice. It has been filed in the courts. It notes where, This is not a formal summons or notification from the court, but rather a request that you sign and return the enclosed waiver of service in order to save the cost of serving you. Cost of service will be avoided if I receive a signed copy of the waiver. 30 days. I've enclosed a prepared and addressed FedEx label for your use, so he wouldn't incur any cost if he wanted to mail it in. An extra copy of the waiver is also attached, so it tells him, you know, all the rules to that. This is what he decided to go online about and really, you know, have a fit, talk about it. Here, let's see. If you go through, so this is, oh my God, I can't believe some of this stuff is real, by the way. But here, give me a second. This was his response. You can see it right here. Now, out of all these tags in here, one of the tags is also a judge in the case. That's right. He decided to send in. He thought it would be a good idea to tag in not only like Ron DeSantis and all of these other folks, but a judge too. And he was like, Mr. Randy Pocket Rocket Shocket. That's not even funny, man. Like, be funnier. God. All he screams about is seniors and see, this is one of the reasons, like when somebody calls you an ist or a phobe, like people, they used to use this, but it's funny too. People like him will claim that people call him these things, and it's not good or real. It's wrong to do that. And at the same time, that's the tactics that people like him use. That's why you don't spend a lot of time, you know, like the Bruce thing, calling people anti-Semitic. You can say it once. You'd be like, I'm not that funky, you know, and you point out how awful that person is. But you never let them set you on your, you never let them set you on your heels. You always push forward. You don't defend, you attack. You always attack. Fuck defense, you know, forget that. But he's not smart enough not to put the judge in this. Now, why is that a problem again? Because he is confirming that he received it. You see this here. He says, Your purported notice is rejected in toto for all purposes, legal, media, entertainment, and others. The purported address is not my address for any purposes. I do not accept or consent to service via email. So he's admitting that he's gotten it, though. That's the wonderful thing. No matter what, he admitted that he had it. I have no authorized agents authorized to accept service on my behalf. I demand strict compliance with Note the summons your moronic client had issued by the court that remains part of the court records has me as a resident of the state of New York. You have not attempted to serve me in New York. You haven't amended. You and your client have harassed others with my name in the state of Florida. You both harass senior citizen Floridarians, and you want Judge Zachary Belitho to co-sign your unethical bottom feeder tactics. Florida protects its seniors. So he puts this in. He thinks he's going to showboat to the judge. Instead, what he's doing is he's proving that he did receive this datum. So it's pretty amazing. You know, you talk about an epic screw up with that. I mean, it's so dumb. He puts more in this too. I mean, look, you want to say he's got to put in an eggplant as well, because again, he's obsessed with sending man and eggplant. Oh, it rejects anti-Semitism. It protects Jews. It protects and stands with Israel. I've already alerted Governor DeSantis. Oh, yeah, I'm sure he's running out there. Senator Scott, Congressman Donalds, Attorney General. Can you imagine? And the Florida bar and the president's people about you and your client. What a nut. What a nut. Your client, 90 days have run. Non-material attachment did not save him. Your client rejected my good faith offer to cure. Yeah, he was like, In sum, you and your client can both go eat and he's like, oh, that's a garden vegetable. So you see, this is the thing he pulled before, and he's proving it to the judge, like who he is and everything else. Also, you will both burn in hell for what you were doing to Ring Bone Crusher. So they add Ring Bone Crusher to this. They make sure that he's noted as part of their conspiracy, and his sick wife. Jesus came to me in a dream and told me that he has removed all protection from Jeremy Hales and all who are in league with him. This is fucking nuts. Like President Trump, I'm protected by God. He will rescue me from the nets of all my foes. He will protect me from the wicked hands. And this is sent to the judge. All right. What a nutty. I mean, some of his stuff is just wacky. But that was his response to that. And again, he gave it to the judge. Isn't that fun stuff? That, again, that's what we ended up with today. Oh, man. It's so nuts. Delusional much, yes, indeed. Lost the plot. Well, I don't think he had the plot. I think he really believes that he has contacts with the president, with Congress people and more. It's just, it's wild. It's nutty. But anyway, let's hit some super chats, folks. Let's do that. Let me see. 1 second here. All right. Kicking it off here. Oh, wait. Somebody wrote. Let me see this here. All right. So somebody wrote and noted. I don't know if you want me to say who you are, but many people close hurricane shutters when they aren't at their homes. It makes it both safer if there's a storm, and when they're not at home, more security against forced injury. I've never lived in a place where there are hurricanes, so I've never had to deal with that. So that's interesting. I've never lived where the sea could turn against me. I've never really liked the idea of the ocean or the sea. I have this weird thing with sharks. I went to the ocean when I was a kid, and when we were out there, we actually had the first time I went, I was little, and I waded out so far. I got out to about neck deep, where you can't really move around. And while I was out there, I felt something slide against my leg. Now, it didn't feel like seaweed or wood or anything. It was definitely living. And it was probably a small shark or something like that, but it was big. I could feel it. You know, it's big for me as a kid, and it terrified me, you know, because I'm neck deep in the water. I can't see what's out there. And I had that sudden realization. I was like, no, I don't really like that. Well, later on, we go for a camp, you know, during the summer. So we go to Florida. We end out, me and 3 friends, we sneak off. We take an inner tube, a Brico block, and a length of rope. We decide we're going to go dive for sand dollars, you know, while everybody else is doing something else. You know, pretty easy stuff. You know, you just dive, shimmy down, shimmy back up. While we're doing that, I shimmied down, you know. I was like, haha, I'd done it a couple of times. On my 3rd time down, as I was shimmying down, I came face to face with a little shark. Now, it's probably just a little blue shark. You know, it's a little video shark, but it looked like freaking Jaws to me when I was underwater. I was like, you know, and time felt like, even though it was probably just a, you know, a split second or two, it felt like I was down in the water 10 days. I was like, never wanted to go back. Don't need it in my life. There's plenty of water. Now I say that, and yet as a kid and everything else, I'll get in a river. River's full of snakes and everything else, giant snapping turtles and stuff. But you know what? I can't catch a shark with my hands. I can catch everything else with my hands. You know. I know how to noodle, you know, or you ever see those videos where a person sticks their hand down into a catfish's mouth and pulls it out of a hole? I've done that before, which is crazy when you think about it. You know, reaching down underwater into places you have no idea what lives in it, pulling out a freaking thing. Oh, nuts. But anyway, let's continue. Super chats. Fallen Hero kicked it off. Thank you, Fallen Hero, man. I appreciate you as always. And thank you for the gifted membership. It's good to see you, my friend. Jaguar, thanks. Dropped 10 gifted memberships, too. That's awesome. Like I said, Fallen Hero, love you, my friend. Jaguar, thank you, man. 10 again. That's sending people and saying, hey, we appreciate you. We love you. And I love that. I love it. You know, saggy old. It's funny. I like that name. It made me laugh. It's really funny. Saggy old one. I like it. Thank you for the 10 gifted memberships, too. That's 21 gifted memberships right there. 21 people. You support the channel and 21 people right there. They were gifted as well. So thank you for that. That is awesome. Now, Mike. What's up, Mike? How are you doing? Mike Morgan. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for your membership, and welcome to Tug's Thugs. I appreciate you too, my friend. Thank you for that, and also thank you for the intro to say that. I love that spiel. Rob the Lurker, thanks for the 10. Megan Stoob, I'm gonna add that sound bite into the intro. Also, anyone in the chat came across, Tizzy Bow. Oh yeah, Hale's Sanction. Yeah, Tizzy's been around for a while, and I knew them. I knew who that was when I ran across the videos. That last video, like I said, that fence video, really though, when I sat down, they put together a pretty complete package. It was good, you know, for somebody that's learning what they want to do and everything. I was very impressed by it. I thought it was done very well. I've been doing this for a while, you know, so I have to say that's the kind of thing that you continue, you do good work with. It'll definitely work out for sure. Liz, thanks for the 2 months there. Did you see Jeremy's video this morning, or is it this evening, with all the anti-Hales ecos? This morning, or are you talking about with today? I haven't seen a video today. Let me look. What are you talking about? Let me check. I haven't looked at the video today. I've been kind of out of pocket for the day, you know. Cops called 6 more times. I mean, good Lord. No, but I'm going to have to cover that for sure. That's wild. I'm glad you mentioned it because I haven't looked yet. That is wild. Like, hell, see, these people, they play the victim very well. But while they're playing the victim, you have to remember in all of this, Hales has a protective order. He is the one being protected from this. You would think the way that they try to talk and the way all these people join in, that somehow in some way that Preston has one, but she didn't. In fact, her lawyer had to tell her, hey, you need to drop this crap because you got a real problem. And, that would be brought up. If they had ever tried that again, that would have worked against them. That was their one shot at it. I mean, again, they could have tried for another, but that stuff would have gotten shot down. Even if it would have been granted, he could have gotten shot down later. Because there was so much against her. And now they're doing it again. So it's wild to hear like they are calling the police. Oh, nuts, man. Rhea Ra, thanks for the 2 there. Are Preston and Crook being set up by Bowman? I actually have heard people talk about this theory, and it is an interesting theory. Now, when I say this, I'm going to make it clear, I'm not saying this is true, but it is interesting. All these people right now, they have a problem with Preston and Cook. You look at so many of the people in the anti-Hales ecosystem have also become anti-Preston. And some of the advice that they are being given right now is so detrimental. That would be bad, by the way, Preston, if you hear that. But the advice is so bad, I'm going to use that word for you there, that they could really walk you into not just a lawsuit. Lawsuits are one thing, but they could walk you into a jail cell. That interview was so stupid. I cannot believe that somebody told you that was okay to do. It blows my mind because, again, they want to argue that it's okay, that they can get away with it. Okay, you could, but again, it goes with that analogy that I've made many times. Imagine somebody juggling dynamite by the side of the road. That puts on a heck of a show, right? Yeah, you see them juggling. The only problem is, sooner or later, that's not going to end well for the person juggling the dynamite. So, obviously, don't juggle dynamite. Don't juggle chainsaws. Don't do things there that could end with you in a cage. But I believe that their behaviors also have been emboldened to the point that no matter what other people are doing, they think they can get away with anything. So again, I've heard people talk about that, and I can't speak to the reason why someone does it. I have to wonder though, when people, some of these people are stupid too. And again, when you hear them talk about protective order, they didn't understand how a protective order worked at all. So, I don't know, but it's a pretty bad decision, wasn't it? Oh no, Jack's mom. Oh man, I lost my father today. I tuned in tonight because I need silly. Could use some prayers. Had a funeral today. Or other family. Man, love to you. Again, I really appreciate you. I do very much. And my love and prayers are with your family. Like I said, I hate to hear that. I hope the distraction and the laughing at stupid people, I hope it helps, because there was a lot of stupid today to laugh at. And I understand, just remembering all of that, it is okay to grieve. It is okay to feel. And don't let anybody put a timetable on how you feel. Right now, though, is the perfect time. While you're grieving, you take the memories that you have with the person that you loved, and you will always love. You take those memories of those positive times and you put them in something like a book or something for yourself. And when you think about that person, you pull that out and you remind yourself, because it will hurt, but the memories hurt too. But after a time, what it helps do is it helps focus you on not the ending where they pass, not that, but why you feel this way. You can laugh and you can enjoy it. And, again, I'm not saying that that ever fully takes away things, but it does help. It helped for myself. But love to you. Again, I appreciate you. And Michelle, thanks for the fun there. Megan, sorry there. Can we ask what you use for migraines? Been dying the last 3 days. Sorry, I'll hit her up. Let me ask her what she's she used for that. I'll ask her. Hey, chat asked what you use for migraines. Thank you. I'll ask. We'll see. We'll see if I get an answer. And thank you, by the way. Ketchup. Ketchup, indeed. Ketchup. Jeremy is like, ooh, ketchup's in the chat. I love it. Thanks for the tip. Where's the child during an interview? Well, that's a good question. Actually, there was a time, I think it was about 5:25, if I'm not mistaken. You can hear in the middle of it, Preston, she turns to Cook and she's like, go find Harley. And I thought, well, that's weird. Go find, not go check on. Go find. Again, that's a semantic thing, perhaps. But still, if I'm telling somebody to go find, I don't know where they are, right? I mean, that would make sense, correct? I don't know. If I say go check on, that would be like, hey, they're in their room or they're doing whatever. Go find. Again, that insinuates you don't know where the person is. So, yeah, I was thinking that's not, especially considering, again, they also, weirdly enough, so they say the kid never gets out or does anything. They're just cooped up in the shed all the time. First of all, that's a choice. That's a choice by parents. But beyond that, I can imagine if they're in the shed all the time that they'd be that hard to find. So wouldn't that insinuate that they are out running around? And again, when I say this, I'm not encouraging people in any way, shape, or form to make contact with these people or with any authorities. In fact, I am the opposite. That is your public service announcement on that. Do not contact anyone. Thank you. I note that every time because when I bring this up, I want people to understand we are talking about a subject. But now, George, again, yes, I agree with that. We love you, Jackson. We do very much so. I mean, I know some of you, I get to know some of you better and better. And as you do, you care about people. You do. You get to that point where you enjoy people and you goof off. And again, love and support with you too. That's the beautiful thing about everything there. And my favorites, thank you again. The little one was funny. She's so funny to have come back. Bonnie, thank you as well. Thank you again. Appreciate you. Martin, candied ginger. I don't know if she's ever tried candied ginger. Huh. I don't know. I'll have to ask her. I'll show her what it is, Now, Rob, thanks for the 2 there. Bench warrant issued if LP no shows tomorrow. Actually, I think there's 2 days, right? I don't know where you live, Rob, actually. So it may be only a day now for you here. Yeah, on the 1st. I don't know what'll happen, to be honest. In fact, you may not, depending on what happens with the bankruptcy, you may not actually see what happens until afterward. But I will say this, Lynette, if you choose not to show up, if somebody is telling you actively, giving you legal advice to not show up, that is not in your best interest. Defying orders, you could have a judge. Right now, you want them to set aside default judgments and other things. What that would show, though, is not just a disrespect for Hales and a lawsuit that you ultimately brought, by the way. This is your lawsuit. In the sanction period, you're in it, but it shows disrespect for the court. And Judge Grabe didn't strike me as the guy I would want to disrespect. He would be somebody that I would want to prove my side to, and showcase to. So hopefully, I don't think you're going to show up. My gut says that you plan on skipping out. But I'm hoping that I'm going to be wrong in that. I'm actually hoping that somebody will give you good, sound legal advice and tell you, hey, you got to do it. I think what they're going to try to do is skip out and hope bankruptcy will slow down whatever happens. But the problem is that regardless, even if you do manage to slow that down, the bill comes due. It's like they don't understand this idea. The bill will come due. So will there be? I don't know about that, but there will be that will cause them some problems for sure. It would be a very dumb move. Joan, also, thank you very much. That is much appreciated too. Thank you, Joan. Janice, same thing. Thank you there. That is awesome. Yeah, I'll tell her that it's a 5 Below thing too. I should have mentioned that when I noted it, but I don't think I brought that up. So noting it's 5 Below, I should have, that would be good too. Oh, Barb, thank you for the 3 months there. Shara paid for the insulation. Yes, I remember her talking about that. You know, isn't it wild, by the way? Like Shara has been attacked by these people so many times. She has been treated like garbage so many times. And yet, it's funny. LMNOP thinks 7 stages of grief or denial, anger, filing bankruptcy, filing lawsuits, anxiety, bankruptcy. I like that. I like that. She has the 7 stages of. That's really funny. I think that's funny. But yeah, Shara got a raw deal in that. You know, Shara got treated like garbage for trying to help. And it's just a point. You know, unfortunately, people believe this more and more. That, you know, the pathway to, you know, is paved with good intentions. And I mean, you see that. It's unfortunate, you know. It is unfortunate. You try to help out people. You help out the wrong people. And sometimes you pay for that. And that's sad. Because what it does is they won't help ever again. You know. I mean, look at what Jeremy Hales is having to do now. He's having to lock down everything he does. He's having to worry about the safety of himself and other people around him. It's taken away so much charitable stuff. And the same with her. It's crazy, you know. AKA the cat lady things to do. What's the latest in the Doritos lawsuit? We are waiting on a court date. That is what we're doing. Now, you know, that could be it's the way the schedules work. Essentially, you only know so much time ahead, and you know like a week ahead, and we're looking for an opening so we can actually be heard. These people are not wanting to communicate or anything else, though. So, yeah, it'll be interesting when you get to the court part. Poindexter, what's up? How you doing? Thank you for the 6 months there. Nice shit. We need a new RV to live in. yeah, exactly. The math ain't mathing. That is indeed correct. They keep telling you over and over again, the shed is fine. The shed ain't, it's great. We have great sheds. Like you said, she posted that they have two nice sheds. She said, for those brainless out there, we have 2 nice sheds in back. Okay. So they have those, and yet they're telling you at the same time they're not nice enough to live in. So what's up, you know? What's the Rob? Thanks for the 2 there. Edited video. Why money not brought up? Police request. Are you talking about yeah, and I wonder that actually. Okay, so for that interview, that's a good question. I see what you're asking here. You can tell that they scripted answers, and the ecosystem does not want to focus inward. They don't want to talk about the problems that they're having now because they're having problem keeping a cohesive center with the people that are backing. I mean, look at all the people that have backed and have been complaining lately. You look at that. You look at the legitimate grievances that many people have. And also, those people are being reminded, you know, what's going to happen is more and more people are going to see the fact that 2L and all these other folks, they promoted this woman for, years? And promoted this guy out there as the devil, essentially. Well, now all of a sudden, he's still the devil to them, but she's the bad guy. Now, how can you have both? How is he a monster and all these things when you're agreeing with the statements? I imagine if Lisa lived right across the street from Lynette, that they would have different kind of problems. And if Lisa had a business that someone had the ability to actually ruin, that would be a problem for her. It's just like the milquetoast thing that came up with John Cook. Remember, they all said when the signs were put out that the signs were that was fine. If somebody called them those things, they'd be okay with all of that. They just ignore it. But when somebody online insinuated that because of allegations, things that Lynette Preston had stated about John Cook, that he might be let's just say a terrible thing too, and that milquetoast, having him as a mod and more, maybe he's enabling that. They started talking about lawsuits and defamation. It's weird, isn't it? It's weird how that works. So, but as far as talking about the money and stuff, they don't want to bring all of that up, because they bring it up. They bring up the hypocrisy. They bring up the potential scamming. And I don't know, how many of them shared in money too? See, Lynette, that's the question too. Nobody wants to ask. How much money? Maybe Lynette knows about money. I don't know. I have no idea. She, again, she told us that $14,000 was paid for her one thing, which would have had to come out of that if that's a true number. So yeah, Rhea Ra, thanks for the fun there. The definition of a shed is a simple roofed structure used for garden storage to shelter animals, or as a workshop, not a house. Indeed, it is supposed to be, if you're living in I've seen people live in tiny homes and more too. But here's the problem with all of that. The problem with all of that is you've got 3 people in this structure. You're telling me that one of the people, a child, is compromised health-wise. And you're saying that everything's good, but at the same time, you keep telling me that you can't live there. It's not good. So we're getting mixed signals. We're hearing, again, it's just a sad circumstance. It is. And again, do not call anybody. I add that every time. Emmy, thank you for the gifted membership there. Thank you, Emmy. It's good to see you. I appreciate you. Poindexter, thanks for the 10 there. Some poor snap in the DOJ here, for real, has to read all of these gray letters and email. I know. God, can you imagine? I can just imagine them saying, and these people passed the bar once. Must have been a dive bar. Indeed. Well, some of the people they've tagged in have intimate knowledge, I'm going to say, of paint chips. That's the real kicker to it. He's tagged in people that know who he is and what he is. I thought, why would you put them in there? Why would they ever listen? So it blows my mind there. Hey, what's up, Tizzy, by the way? Thanks for the 10 there. I didn't know what to say. The views they keep climbing. I thought maybe a few people would watch. Thanks, guys. Yeah, it used to be T-Bound. Thank you. I appreciate you, first of all, clarifying. I thought, man, am I going nuts? It wasn't Tizzy, was it? So that's a good change, though. When you think about, if you start up a channel, always look up a name and see what comes up. Like for me, That Umbrella Guy, when I combine it, I have my own little thing, and it pops up. And that's the same thing with Tizzy versus Tig. I think that's good. But again, that video is very good. So people, you should definitely check it out. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I don't shout out anything if I don't think it's good. And Tizzy to Bounce was actually, like I said, is a very good video. The video now, let me check it out, by the way. So Tizzy's up to 600 people. All right. Now, what I would like to see happen, to be honest, is I would like to see under 390 people this week. I would like to push Tizzy. You have 2 requirements for monetization. You have 1,000 subscribers, and you have 4,000 watch hours. So if you meet those, you're good to go. You're gravy, baby. Now, I would suggest one of the ways to optimize, pick out a time, like streaming can help. Pick out a time that no one large is streaming. Like if you stream and I stream at the same time, it doesn't help you, because I will hit your numbers and pull people away. I don't mean that to sound bad. I'm just saying I want you to grow. Pick out a time when no one is streaming there because you have something good to say. If you want to stream, you could do that. You could do it well. If you want to do presented materials, you can do well with that too. But there's a thing that'll tell you about watch hours. You have to have 4,000 of those and 1,000 subscribers. And let's get you to 1,000 subscribers. I think that'd be good. We've already see you at 600, which is good, but we can see you at 1,000. I think that would be much better. And then the other part is just watch time. Watch time. You know, you had a good long video. You can do that with them. Live streams really eat that watch time up, though. That's why I recommend those too. So also, let's see. I don't know how to pronounce this for the migraine thing for Megan. She has, let me just spell it to you. Okay. I don't know how to pronounce this, but this is what she said she used. It's BUTALBITOL. It looks like brutal bile. I don't know. I thought it said brutal bile. Brutal bile. Sounds rough. Like somebody's beating you up and biting you. Like, oh man, that sounds weird. What's up, Georgie, by the way? How you doing? Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Hey, Tugglesworth. Finally home from vacay to find out I was the favorite topic of the antis. Like, I haven't even tuned in last night. I haven't even gotten to that. It's been so crazy. I haven't even had time to look through the transcripts. So that's funny. You know, so you were again the topic of loathing. I'm not surprised by that, but it is amazing to me how much energy that they devote instead of devoting their time and energy into perfecting a case that would defend them. Instead, they go out. They even had one of their panelists I saw in a clip talking about how some of the stuff they had been doing recently, it was petty. It's bad when your own panelists are like, that's pretty petty, you know? But hey, what do I know, right? But yeah, they devote a lot of energy to you and to Mr. Coop. And it's so nuts, you know? It's so nuts. Weezy, what's up? Thanks for the vibe. Sorry, not much of a contribution today. I'm afraid. Where are you? What's going on with you? Are you doing okay? I hope you're doing okay. And it's okay. You know what? You're here. You know, you are here. Thank you for backing the channel, by the way, but you're here. Love to you, whatever's going on. Like I said, love to you. It's the perfect place to just have fun and again laugh at stupid people. You know, laughing at the stupid. I find that my favorite pastime is laughing at stupid. It makes me feel better no matter what's going on. You know, it takes my mind off of it for a minute. That's one of the reasons I like to live stream all the time. And the reason I like to cover so many things, because, you know, I don't like covering things that just make me angry. I like to laugh at stupid people. Because, you know, the lawsuit, part of it makes me mad. But the other part, the dynamic that keeps me attached to this and really invested is the stupidity of some of the actors in this. They are so bad that, like I said, it can make me feel better through most things, or at least let me forget for a minute. So I hope tomorrow is a better day, and love to you. Rob, thanks for the 5 there. Make him stop, said one of the 911 calls on Hale's video today by the memorial spot. Those people, by the way, they blow my mind. I mean, again, you know what would be really, really good that they should do? They should focus on the $4,000 that seems to have just disappeared. Not only that, but when they talked about the memorial and they talked about how it was coming into being, I kept thinking that memorial, it's never going to pop up. It's never going to manifest. So, man, I'm glad your video is doing so good, though, Tizzy. I'm looking at your numbers. I was trying to see if people were going over there. Hey, well, one of the mods, do me a favor. Let me check something. One of the mods put the Tizzy Bounce, well, they put their channel. I'm going to attach it to the top. Yeah, the Fleas are having Rumble exclusive for a while. I wonder, here's the thing I don't understand, okay? Maybe somebody could clarify. When people are flagged, they can't post, correct? You can't put up videos or anything. So how did they put up a video for 2 weeks from now? How did they put up a live stream for that? When, again, you're not allowed to post. You're not allowed to put anything up. How did they put that up on YouTube if you're banned? I'm curious about that. You want to know about the 56K? Yeah, I that's what I want to, Mr. Coop. I not only want to know about that, I want to know about the other money they've mentioned. I want to know how much is there. This is the thing I would expect Lynette Preston to really be concerned with, because 56K, that's part of it. Thank you, Kitty Ninja, by the way. When it rolls up, I'll put it in there. I'll tag it in. But yeah, I would expect Lynette really, and more people in the ecosystem too. I would expect them to truly give, some concern at least. All right, so folks, really quick while we're talking about this, at the top of the chat, you'll notice I just pinned a link. That is a link to Tizzy DeBounce's channel. Very easy. Just go over there, hit the button, subscribe to the channel. That's all you got to do, and then go in and check out the last video after we finish. But if you would, please, just like I said, just check out the channel there. It's pinned. It needs 350 more subscribers, and it will hit its 1,000 mark. We're already looking at a channel again with around 600, and there's about 648 folks that have already found it and already subscribed. I love it. I like something like this. Again, when you're starting out, it's really hard to get your channel going over that little hump there. It's hard to build up that first 1,000 subscribers, and that is it's essential. It's one of those things that it helps with the algorithm too. It's not just monetization. It helps with the channel. It helps get stuff out that's important. So if you would click on it, if you would subscribe to it, that would definitely, it helps them, but it also, it helps get more of this out there. More people can see it. There need to be more quality videos. I think between that and, the tea spiller that we see as well. I think the tea spiller too, she needs her channel hyped up as well. I think there are a couple of channels I want to give some love to over the next couple of weeks. So I want to build up. I want to help get to a certain spot. But Tizzy's, like I said, I watched that today and it really resonated with me. I thought it was a great video, and I think we could build it up and give them a good start out. I think we should get it over this week. We should get them up to 1,000. Yeah, they're at 687 right now. Next time we live stream, I'm gonna keep at it. We're gonna bounce them up there. It'll be good. So yeah, Rob, by the way, I do need to check out the video. I haven't checked it out yet. I haven't seen it, so I'll have to. Okay, the cat lady, thanks to Runkle's covering a Gingrich deny. By the way, that's hilarious. So I watched that play out to Laura Owens falling apart, and it's been pretty funny. And I go in like, right now the amount of money Laura Owens owes is absolutely insane. And what's really weird to me is you would expect Gingrich to let go and push that away from himself, right? It's a loser of a case. Like walking away, you win some, you lose some, right? That guy, no. Reminds me of some other people, there's something that's majorly wrong when you invest to the level they do, when it sinks their life too. I mean, there is something, it's bizarre to see. Like that case is bad to the point that most people, like if you show them the evidence in it, they can say that person, they committed a crime. That's wrong. But Gingrich is still holding on. It's wild, isn't it? Anna, thanks for the 2 there. It touched my heart, Tuck. Thanks for being, hey, thank you. I appreciate it. These days it's just, we get marketed a lot of division. I'm not saying that there aren't people out there I don't like. By the way, I'm not saying that in life. But we get so much division and so much hate from labels. And they can be political or social or whatever. And it's kind of sad. A lot of us, we are so close. We are much closer to one another than we are divided. We go through the same life experiences, a lot of them, and having a little bit of empathy, and having a little bit of concern for our fellow person. That would probably, we see a lot of tragedies, and I'm not saying every tragedy would be averted if we were nicer to one another, but I think some of them would. I think if people stopped focusing on hating another person with a label, like I said, I see a lot of it. Political's so bad. The labels there, it destroys families and everything else. And I want people to get back to being people, so we can all, like again, all of us together. If there's something that goes on, we can enjoy the company of one another. We can talk about what's going on. If there's some kind of need, people can help one another out. I appreciate people who are listening to me when I talk about stuff like that too. Yes, Senate, thanks for the tip. The Fleas are having Rumble exclusives for a while. Yeah, I heard they got hit for 2 weeks. That was their statement on that. I don't understand the quote unquote why for that though. They seemed very vague on the why. So I don't know. They said something about Volpe and something he did and they show. I don't understand it. I don't get why they're saying they're flagged. Like it really has just been a mess to it. Like I said, it feels very elusive. So I'm not sure. And I mean, they don't have to be that way on Rumble either. They could have been very blunt about it, but hey, I think some of the stuff that they're trying to get back to holding on to their base too, because they're losing a lot of people, and a lot of that they think it's Preston, they think it's Hales, but it's really them. That's the thing they can't get through their head. It's not a Georgie. It's not a Mr. Coop. It's not a Megan Fox. It's them. And they're very unlikable people. They'll hold on to some hardcore folks, but they have lost a lot of the people that just sat out there and listened and, goofed off and had fun. They get lurkers and, people that are listening for the stupid and the chaos, but oh, what a mess. Debbie, thanks for the 3 months. Boxing, lots of my craft hoard to send your way soon. Oh, that's awesome. So happy your girls are craft. Oh, yes. To give you an example of how much. So today, my daughter every week, at least once, but sometimes twice a week, she loves going to her grandma's house. And one of the things she loves about going there, I used to do stuff like this when I was a kid. She'll spread out all of her crafting supplies on a table. She'll talk about everything that she's wanted to make and stuff. And she came home today. She had made a lot of paper crafts. Like she made a robot out of paper. She had made a couple of different like little creations. And some of them are amazing. But yeah, she crafts buttons, bracelets. She really wants to try to craft buttons. I've thought about looking into getting her a button maker. She's been like just making like a handmade type of button. And I was telling her, you can get a button press, but I haven't looked into them. I haven't priced them or anything like that. I think that would be really cool to pick her up, a button press. But she loves making stuff. She's addicted to creation. And I like that. I like also in this world that we have now, with the electronic form, I told her, as you get older, you already have a foot into this electronic forum. You already have an established brand. So as you get older, you could use your brand, and it's a leg up, with all the millions of channels, you can actually find an audience. But also you can continue you can make that your job if you wanted to. You don't have to go out and do, this thing like in my generation, like we felt like we all had to go a certain way. We didn't have the internet or anything else. We didn't have jobs like this. And now that stuff's better. So anyway, but I appreciate it. I like the fact that crafting, it can be something enjoyable, but also it may lead to more. I like that idea. All right, I think I'm done tonight. So I'm going to end here. I went a little bit longer than I meant to with super chat. I love talking during super chats, while it's going on. Like I said, if you all would, again, give Tiggy to Bounce. They are over 700. So they're at 718 from what I see right now. They need 280 subscribers to hit 1,000. I would love this week to see them hit 1,000. And I know it's very possible. So I'll do that. Like I said, this weekend, I may cover one of their videos, depending on what comes up. Their fence video is amazing. The receipts in it and stuff, it's very good. So you should go check it out. Subscribe to the channel. And again, tomorrow we should be on Megan's channel. So I'll see you.